Okay, we're back. This is Techmath1. We're looking at review, chapter 11-12, part 4. Last page, the law of cosines. So the way the law of cosines works is they want us to find C. So that's the side we want. We have side B and side A. So the side that you want is the isolated side. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So it starts out kind of looking like Pythagorean's theorem, but then law of cosines, a little more, minus 2AB, so that's that side and that side, still on there, minus 2, and then times the cosine of the angle, opposite this one. Okay. So that's, oh, wait, I put in a number there. We weren't doing numbers yet. C. Okay? So whatever side is here, that's the angle. The opposite angle is on the cosine of that. And so it looks like this. So again, it starts like Pythagorean's theorem, but this isn't a 90-degree triangle, so you can't use Pythagorean's theorem. So if you want to find this side, you can find it, but it requires a little bit of work here. So C squared is equal to 7 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 7 times 13 times the cosine of 47 degrees. And so again, you can type all of that into your calculator in one shot and hit enter. Remember, it's C squared is equal to all of that. So when you type all of that in, it turns out to be 93.876, and then you take the square root of that, and then C is equal to 9.6889, we'll call it 9.7. Okay. Same for 26 here. This time they want me to find an angle, x. So that's going to determine what goes here. So the 11 is going to go there. 11 squared, because we're after this angle. And then that's going to equal 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 8 times 14 times the cosine of x. Now, I think this one is a little harder than that one because you're finding the angle instead of just the side. So what does that mean? That means a little more legwork. Shoot. Okay. So that means, here, let's get these numbers out, flesh these out. So this is 121, this is 64, this is 196, minus 2 times 8 times 14 is 224 cosine x. Okay, so now we can combine those together, I guess, get 260. And so now this, you have to flex your algebra muscles a little bit to get this one done right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we combine the like terms. We're going to isolate the cosine of x. So that means first subtract 260 from both sides. All right. And so what does that mean? That means we got negative 139 is equal to negative 224 cosine x. Then divide both sides by negative 224. That's like the number in front. All right. And so now, let's see, did I write that down? I did. So now look, this is negative divided by negative is positive, so this is 0.620535 is equal to the cosine of x. All right, so now we're going to do the arc cosine. So x is equal to second cosine, that'll be cosine with a little negative 1 on it, that's arc cosine of 0.620535, and then hit enter. And round to the nearest whole degree, that's 52 degrees. Okay. So harder, right? This was a little easier. You could just type all that in one shot if you wanted to and hit enter and then take the square root. Or if you really, really wanted to, you could do the square root and put all of that in parentheses and hit enter and get to 9.7. Where this one we had to manipulate stuff. We had to square it, combine like terms, move it over, divide by the thing in front of the cosine, and then take the arc cosine. So this one definitely more involved than that one. All right. Let's look at 27 and 28. So 27. 130 degrees, 15, 5, x, y, and z, and a little baby x across from it, and they want us to find little baby x. So this one will be easier. This is x squared is equal to 15 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 15 times 5 times the cosine of 130 degrees. So again, you just type all of that in, hit enter, and you end up with 346.418, and then take the square root. 346.418. And that is 18.6. So a little easier, right? That was easier than finding an angle. Angle is a little more involved. All right, so now 28, they ask a whole ton of stuff for us to do. So here, let me draw the pretty picture for you. Over here. So they got this is 55 degrees, this is 45 degrees. Got the whole length across the bottom is 60 feet. They got this, I'll call it, let's not call it X and Y, let's call it the little letters. So look, if this is A, and this is B, and this is P, what a weird thing. Why didn't they go with C? That's weird. Okay, well, anyway. How far is A from P? So we'll call that B. So letter A is find B, the length B. Okay. Letter B, it says how far is B from P? So we'll call that little a. Little a. All right, and then what is the width of the river? Okay, that's a little tougher. That's going to be here. This is the width of the river on the picture. Is from there to there. From this length to that point P on the other side of the river. They've got the whole picture drawn over. I'm not going to draw a river. It's hard enough to see as it is. Okay, so they want us to find that. We'll call that H. Okay. So first, what do we have? We know that, here, let's get rid of H for a minute. We know this is 55, we know this is 45. We add those together, you get 100. 180 minus 100 means we know this is 80 degrees. Okay. So we got that marked. Now, if we know that's 80 degrees, we can use the law of sines for both of these. Because we can say 60 over the sine of 80 degrees is equal to A over the sine of 55 degrees. And multiply both sides by the sine 55. Again, remember to put the end parenthesis on it before you hit the divide by the sine of 80. And so there's A, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, 43 feet. round to the nearest foot. So we rounded. So we got that. A is 43. So from P to B is 43. The second one they asked. From A to P, same thing. We just set up 60 over the sine of 80 is equal to B over the sine of 45. And then multiply both sides by the sine of 45. And then we got B. So 60 times the sine of 45, end of parenthesis, divided by the sine of 80. And you hit enter, and you end up with, oh wait, that one was that one 50? That one's 50. Wait. I got A, PB was from A to P is letter B. Wait, I think I messed these up. This one is 43, but that was B. Shoot. Sorry, this is 50. 60 to 2. And sine of 50. That was 50. Sorry, this was 50. And this one's 43. Okay. Sorry about that. I just looked at the wrong thing on my sheet here. So 43 goes here and 50 goes here. So we got those. Now to find that last one, we're going to drop a 90-degree altitude. But when you do that, you got to be careful because a lot of times students go, oh, okay, so I can say that's 40 and 40. You can't. It's not isosceles. This is a different, we just figured out the sides. That's 43 and that's 50. So they're not the same. So it is not cut it directly in half. What you can do is you can put the 90-degree angle there. It's right there. And you can take that 55. That is going to be there. That angle is there. Okay? And now we're looking for H. And we found B already. We found this length is 43. And so now you work off of that. You could also work off of the 50 if you wanted to, and the 45. You'd get roughly the same thing. When we round to the whole number, it would be the same. All right? But we get to use, we don't have to use law of sines and law of cosines. We can use right triangle trig. So SOHCAHTOA. So this is 55 degrees. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So the sine of 55 degrees is equal to opposite H over hypotenuse 43. So 43 times the sine of 55 degrees is what H equals, and we round that to a whole number. That comes out to be 35. And that is it. So the test will be around there. It won't have an ambiguous case one on there where you have to do the 180 minus. All right, good luck on this test.